But these women are trying to convince you, well, who cares if she's got wrinkles? Who cares if her fertility's gone? Who cares if things are start to sag? Who cares if she's overweight because all sizes are beautiful? Who cares if she comes with lots of baggage? Who cares if she comes with kids? We care. Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. I wasn't sure how I wanted to label this video, which is either at what age do women turn invisible or at what age do all women become feminists? Angry and bitter at all the men that they've been scorned when they find out that life isn't quite fair because they've lost their looks or they've aged or something else. So I'm pretty sure by the end of this video, most of them will hate me if they don't already hate me. So I have a study here. Good-looking female college students' grades dropped when schools transitioned to remote learning. Now, I'm not going to read all these articles because I have quite a few headlines and everything to read, but I've read the articles, and the headlines pretty much sum up everything that we know. And the reason why I guess I want to talk about this a little bit is because so many times young men feel disaffected. They feel like they're being left out, unloved, unwanted, undesired. And as they grow, as they gain experience in life, as they get a better job, as they earn more money, maybe they start hitting the gym, their life drastically improves. But they're used to kind of being invisible their entire lives. Where women, on the other hand, even average women today, have entitlement. They think they're better than you. They think they're God's gift to creation just because they walk around with a couple of bits that men like to touch a lot. But other than that, they really don't use their resources on men. They don't spend their money on men. They don't work harder so they can get a better man. They primarily use their looks and their youth. Well, this study kind of tells us what we already knew about it, but they say a distance may make the heart grow fonder, but it's ruinous for good-looking students in grades. A recent study out of Sweden revealed that attractive female university students saw a significant drop in their marks when classes went online during the bug. The findings are the latest in a large body of research that indicates beauty doesn't just count on Instagram. Attractiveness improves an individual's chances of securing a job offer, getting a promotion, earning more votes in an election, and living a happier life. Initially. I'm throwing in that initially on the end of that last sentence. So this is very black pill stuff. Like, this is stuff I think a lot of people do realize that if you're a shorter politician, you struggle. If you're overweight or unattractive, as whether it's a politician or a Hollywood actor or whatever role you have in life, you're going to struggle more. But when you've always had that disadvantage, you have to learn to cope with it at a certain point. And once you do, the rest of your life is kind of the same. We're going to talk about the black pill stuff first, and then we'll move right into the rest of it. I'll keep this kind of as a shorter video. And this was some of the links that they had in the previous article. The beauty premium, why good looks pay, which is about income. On the job, beauty is more than skin deep. They talk about promotions. This is from the Journal of Public Economics, which is actually a scientific study. The looks of a winner, beauty and electoral success. You have a better job becoming a politician. This one, beauty equals happiness, studies say. But what they're talking about is younger people in this study. And I wanted to move on. I want to kind of zip through that, just kind of laying the groundwork that this is all something that we know. That if you're at a disadvantage because of your looks, your height or weight or other things, as a man, you're already behind the cue ball. You can come out from behind this with making more money, getting in the gym and getting in better shape, becoming popular. These are all things that women kind of chase after. The big one is finances, especially when you get into your 30s and 40s and 50s. And many of you say, well, I don't care about women, so I'm not worried about that. Fair enough. But I'm just kind of sharing this stuff so you can see how men think versus women think, because today, and there's videos, you can go look at YouTube shorts, you can look at TikTok crap, where these young guys are walking around interviewing women, and they say, and these are decidedly average college women. I think I actually played a few of these in a few of my videos here on YouTube, or I should say over on YouTube, since I primarily record for locals, and I use salty language like I can say that over here on locals, and I can't say that over on YouTube. But anyway, I've shown videos where decidedly average women are like, oh, I'm a 10, 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 all of them. And then if you ask the guys the same thing, guys are, I don't know, 7, 6, even they are a little high. I mean, let's face it. But what happens when you grow up in the first 30 years of your life, 35 years of your life, you're treated special or have an advantage because of your looks, and then it goes away. And that's why women freak out when they hit the wall, because they have nothing left to offer. Fertility is gone. Their looks are gone. Their youth is gone. Skin starts sagging. Wrinkles start showing up. They're primarily loved for their beauty, but women want to be loved for more than that, and they never will be, because none of their resources are ever spent on men. Women are not providers. Women are not protectors. Their main offerings to men is kindness, friendship, support, love, children, beauty, sexuality, and most of that goes away, where men don't have that same disadvantage. And I kind of tell you this because a lot of times guys say, life's kind of down. I get it. Things will improve. Things will improve. And at a certain point, again, if you've kind of gone through this your whole life, you don't care anymore. But I wanted to read these headlines real quick. Sometime in my 50s, I became invisible to men. Here's what I didn't expect to feel. And a lot of it is a disappointment. A little bit of it is, well, it's good. Now I don't have men bothering me anymore. And of course, the rest of it is cope. All I did for these searches, by the way, guys, is just put women invisible to men, and it filled out itself. Why women our age are saying I feel invisible and what we can do about it. Now, the photo they use is much older than the woman in the article, but getting over feeling invisible at 50. So it sounds like 50 is a big one, the big 50. But here's one that I wanted to read from the swaddle, and then I have just 2 more links after this. Feeling invisible after 35. Let me zoom this up a bit for us. She said, I feel invisible now, a friend recently said. She will be 30 in a month. The other day, someone made kissy noises at me in the street, 5 years ago, I would have made faces and complained. That day, I smiled because I felt like someone was noticing me as a woman. So again, it's when I'm young and pretty and everybody does it, I don't like the attention, or if it's from an unattractive guy. And I think she actually admits that in this article. But then as I age and I don't get it anymore, I kind of miss it. And I wish I had that attention because it's validation for them. She says, let me get down here a little bit further. It's tempting to write off women feeling invisible after 35 as evolution. The evolution drives men to seek out younger, more fertile mates, is an accepted narrative for explaining why in most May-December relationships, men are the older party. Except research has shown that the most fertile men are men whose partners are 6 years younger, not 10 or 15, and certainly not 20 plus. If evolution were the explanation, men would be going after women much closer to their age, more May, August. Well, here's the thing. I think men would go younger, but maybe they don't have the opportunity to, or maybe they don't have, I don't know, the means to do so. All you have to do is look up any Hollywood star that has money, popularity, and everything else. I mean, Mick Jagger's 72 and he just had a kid with like a 30-year-old model. Why does he get to have a 46-year age gap? Because of money, looks, and status. Well, that's what men are primarily desired for, is money, looks, and status. And as young men age, they can gain that, even if their looks never come around. That's why you see all the Instagram models on boats, and she's, 22 and looks like a 10 in a little bikini, and the guy that owns the boat is, 56 and has a gut and is old and gray hair. He looks like Tony Soprano from the Sopranos TV show. And those two have magically met up. He knows the deal, she knows the deal, but they're willing to make out that deal. The problem is for women that men, it doesn't go the other way around, because women do not spend their resources on the men. She says, so then this invisible feeling that grows in women from their 30s onward must boil down to the superficial, to the unlined and nubile beauty of a 20-something's face and body. Correct. This is borne out by the 2014 book Dataclysm, which examined the preferences of habits of people with profiles on the dating site OkCupid and found that men at any age are most attracted to women in their early 20s. But the 40-something Mumbai men we spoke to from this article don't dwell on their much younger partner's physical attributes. Instead, they describe these women as compared to the men's female peers as less jaded, more flexible, whether it comes to your schedule or your mindset, with a greater sense of innocence and optimism. In some ways, sharing wisdom I have accumulated over the years is also fun, said SM, a 49-year-old restaurateur who has been in a relationship with a woman 20 years his junior for several years. And that's where I'm going to stop reading the article. I mean, again, you can just type in the swaddle and the title here, Feeling Invisible, and you can find these articles. But why am I saying this? Because if you want to know why the world is starting to press down on all men, regardless of race, regardless of anything else, why is the world pressing down upon men so hard? The reason being is because women, as they age and they become invisible, look for other sources of narcissism or narcissistic input, feeling important, feeling wanted, feeling powerful. And now they think like men, which is, I'm going to get into government, I'm going to get into CEOs, I'm going to get into the HR manager department, and they're exacting their revenge on men. I think this is a big part of it. That's why so many women that are young and carefree and sleeping around with the guys, but also quote unquote feminists, as they age and they lose the attention of all men, become so bitter and they attack men and give them a hard life. I wanted to read a couple more headlines, and then I'll kind of sum up my point here. Is this really the age women start to feel invisible? Study claims that no longer turn heads at 45 while men stop getting eyed up at 47. Men stop getting eyed up at 47, perhaps, but that doesn't mean they don't bring value, because again, most of the time men have the resources. And if you want to see more of this, let me actually zip it down here. This video I did, now it's an hour 20 minutes. It's a long video, but I think it's some of the better work I do on breaking down what women say. But I don't have her in this thumbnail, but one of the girls, she's 24, and she wants a $500,000 car, and she wants a $1 million home, and she wants all these things. But at 24, actually she's 23, soon to be 24, she said she was willing to date up to 36 years old. And then near the end of the video, when she's told how much men in her age bracket make on average, she said, well, maybe I could drop back to 300,000. And maybe I could date a little bit older. And I don't know if I have the portion where she says she might date a little bit older, but she said maybe young 40s. She's instantly aged the window of which she will date by 20 years just to get some resources from the man. That's why I say a lot of times, I know many of you guys say, hey, I'm not jumping through any hoops. I'm not trying to go out there and kill myself making tons of scratch and money just so I can have a little 24-year-old something that's going to divorce me later on and take my piggy bank. But what a lot of these guys are doing is they are becoming successful, and then they're just deciding to date these women, dating them for a few months at a time, maybe dating for 6 months or a year. And then when they get bored, or she starts saying, hey, let's get married and I want kids and let's make this permanent, he says, no, thank you, and moves on. I mean, why else would a woman go up 20 years? But how many men are willing to go open their window up by 20 years older than them? Do you think a 30-year-old is going to open his window to a 50-year-old? Of course not. Not unless she started to, if he's, I don't know, working at Taco Bell and she says, hey, I'll buy the house and I'll fund an extravagant lifestyle for you. But how long is that going to last, even if it happens? She's going to get bored of him just like all women get bored of all men anyway. And lastly, is this the last one? Yeah. And lastly, I'm going to sum it up with this, and this is where everybody's going to get angry at me, I think, or all the old aging women with a little bit of weight and everything else wants to get angry with me. This is from a woman named Chrissy Stockton. 7 reasons a woman with baggage is the only kind worth dating. But this is part of what they talked about. See, in the other article, when interviewed, these men said, you know what, it's not just about looks. It's not just about fertility. It's not just about their beauty. They're more outgoing. They're less jaded. They're less angry. They're more optimistic. They're more fun. That's huge for a guy that is already successful and is looking in his later years of life of just being with somebody that's pleasurable to be around. And older women are not only coming with less looks, more wrinkles, more weight, but more baggage and more anger. And usually you can tell this by some of the comments I get in my videos of, well, I'm 38 and you guys, and you're look, hey, be angry all you want. The truth is the truth. If somebody says to me, I don't find you attractive because you're 40 pounds overweight and you're bald and you're 5'6" and I don't know, you're ugly. Okay. And that's a reality. That's the way the world works. You can't will people into loving and accepting you for who you are. You have to find the right person for you. Well, Women are trying to will men into caring for them for more than their looks and their beauty and their feminist. Let me correct that. And their femininity. I say feminist so often. I keep wanting to go back to it. Women are liked for their beauty and their youth and their femininity, but also for their fun, their outgoing adventure, their outgoing personality, their adventure, or looking for adventure in life and new things. And a lot of times older guys can provide that. So it makes us feel like we're bringing something to the relationship other than just resources. But these women are trying to convince you, well, who cares if she's got wrinkles? Who cares if her fertility's gone? Who cares if things are start to sag? Who cares if she's overweight because all sizes are beautiful? Who cares if she comes with lots of baggage? Who cares if she comes with kids? We care. And we keep telling you this. And then we're shot down for being all these awful things just for saying, hey, here's men's preferences. Pay attention or you're going to end up like these women. And of course, a woman that says, hey, women with baggage are great. Well, she has a link to her Instagram, and I brought it up. She's heavy. This is an Instagram post. No makeup. She's standing there in a sweatshirt. Obviously, she comes with baggage if she says, hey, women should, it's okay if women bring baggage. And what kind of baggage is acceptable? It makes people better. Oh, does it? People without baggage just haven't been tested yet. Oh, really? Okay. Maybe guys are looking at younger women saying, hey, I know you haven't been tested yet. I know you haven't been put through the ringer. Hang out with me. I'll make sure you have an easier life. I'll make sure you have a better life. And in return, you bring me your lower body count, your youth, your fertility, things like that. That's what I want. And you want an easier life. And you want someone that can provide for you. And you want someone that can give you money and take care of the kids and give them the best leg up they can have. I think that's a fair trade. But when men offer that, we're somehow told we're bad people. And then when we say, well, we have preferences, we're also told we're bad people. It doesn't work like that. She says they're better at showing you love when you need it the most. Are they, though? Are they, though? They've had 20 years of opportunity to show people love, and that yet here they are single in their late 30s and 40s, and now is really the time when they're going to show love. I don't think so. They know what they want. Ask a 22-year-old girl what they want. Look at the video that I was talking about again here the other day. These women all know what they want. And what they want is completely unreasonable. It is laughable. They want the 0.01 percenters. Do you think that gets better as they age? Girls with baggage are the opposite of people with drama. Oh, no, they're not. And she will love and accept you for who you are. Oh, no, they won't. And so when women get to be this age, and let's reverse this. Let's say this was a guy, okay? Let's say he's an overweight guy, not very attractive. I guarantee you, if he holds a position of power, if he has money, if he has resources, there will be a younger woman who is willing to extract him for those resources and use him for those resources. And in the meantime, she will pay him with her sexuality, spending time with him. Many guys know this and are willing to make that trade. Many guys also know this and are not. But the whole point is it's the man's decision whether to make this trade or not the woman's. She's the one being selected. And so when women like this aren't being selected anymore, she has nothing left. There's no gas in the tank. She doesn't have the ability to choose a man, any man. That would mean that she has to go out, find a good-looking guy, somehow show that she has resources and is willing to pay them for him. And most of the time, guys are like, that doesn't matter to me. That's unimportant to me. Guys do not have most men do not have these lavish lifestyles that they think that they're owed or entitled to, because most men know they've got to provide it for themselves. And they've known this since the minute they were 5 years old, that they're supposed to sacrifice. And so as they age, you can't get that out of their head. It's not going to just disappear. If I met a 65-year-old woman that's 15 years older than me, who's a millionaire, and she says, I'll give you everything you could ever want, and you'll have this lavish lifestyle and fancy cars and a big house, my answer obviously would be, but I'm happy. I already have everything I want. Why? Because I provided it for myself. That's what men have to do, or they become homeless. They don't have any other opportunity. So these women, they everything they have to offer is no longer of value to men. And what they did have to offer, their feminine qualities, their sexuality, their youth, their beauty, their slimness, and the lack of attitude, and no jadedness, and no baggage, and low body count, and no children, that's all gone. And as unfair as it is, men gain advantage as they age, and women lose it. And nothing they do will solve it. And so when we go back to this original article here, and they talk about these good-looking college students losing their abilities or losing their edge as they go to remote learning, and what happens when you go to a company, you get hired and you're working remotely because a lot of corporations are shutting down things, or you're, one of these wackadoos that have purple hair and, nose rings, and you're 300 pounds screaming, oh, my equality. They don't have the advantage anymore. Now, they do have the societal advantage right now, but even that will go away as we start getting into these tough times. And the reason why I keep saying tough times are coming is because they are. The world cannot keep running a debt-induced financial structure. That's why when we left the gold structure, or the gold standard back in the 70s, we got into so much trouble. It's going to continue to get worse. And when it does continue to get worse, these women are going to rail against the machine, and the guys that just grind it out and do the 9 to 5 are the ones that are going to be okay. And what's better off, or what's better for these men, is that they're used to things being kind of tough. They're used to having been ground through the machine. And so when the machine tightens down and gets even worse, most guys are going to just power through it. Where everybody that's pretty and is loved on social media, and they're hired and given raises and have these cushy jobs, that all goes away. And when they come crashing down to earth, they're going to land right next to where you are as a working man. The difference is they've fallen, how far? They're going to be in a very bad place. And it kind of reminds me of that meme where the guy's got a noose around his neck. DeFranco? I forget his first name. DeFranco's standing there, and he's got the noose around his neck, and he goes, oh, first time? They're just going to fall back to earth where the rest of us exist, and we're already here. We're already fine. We're already grinding it out. They're going to find they got a rough life ahead of them. And then what do? They turn to feminism. They say men are pigs, men are awful, men are this, men are that. We need to push them down to raise ourselves up. Ultimately, men will be fine. It's the women that are going to struggle. Guys, if you are over on YouTube, make sure to join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com, where you can enjoy censorship-free content. We have a lot of topics we talk about, and many of them are saltier than I can talk about here. We've got movie nights every Saturday. Great place to come hang out, so I hope you join us over there, and we'll see you in the next one.